Alright, let's see what nonsense Phuket Word has to say on how perspective and sunsets work on a flat Earth.
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters, and debunkers. Perspective governs everything we see, every observation we make, whether we're looking across the surface or into the sky. But we have to ignore it or pretend it doesn't even exist if we are to believe and perceive that we live on a globe. We are wrongly led to believe that horizons are caused by some kind of physical bulge or curve in front of us.
It's the Earth curving away and the limited eyesight that you have in front of you that you can see.
Some people will argue that perspective is only used in art to make 3D images, but of course this is done to make pictures look more realistic and to represent the world in the way that we really see it. Others will argue that perspective is nothing more than things appearing smaller in the distance. Well, that's certainly true, but let's have a look at how and why that actually happens in our vision. When we look at an image like this, we see everything converging in the center. It doesn't matter which way we are looking in this case, when there's nothing solid in front of us. Everything in the distance will converge at the center of our field of view, our vanishing point. So while our field of view expands over distance...
Oh, so much word salad. It's just, oh God.
The same happens all around in this cone of perspective. Everything that is going away
Cone of perspective
from us, that is outside of that center point of our field of view, will appear to converge in the center over distance. So this is how we know when we look across a flat surface that's lower than our eye level and goes off into the distance, a short or a long distance, that surface will appear to rise up to our eye level, the midway point of our field of view, creating a horizon at our vanishing line or vanishing point. It won't...
Yeah, at the end of your sight, things will disappear over the curve because you can't see anymore unless you go higher, in which case you'll see more because your vision has increased that you can see. He's in a very bad way of explaining it, but he's he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. This is why people will watch his nonsense, I'd imagine.
Won't go any higher than that, and this tells us that it's flat.
No, it doesn't. Why does that tell you that it's flat? Because you're looking at a flat line. Your brain won't entertain. I think, all right, where is all that going? If it's disappearing at a point, where is that going? Why is that happening? You just okay with going, oh, okay.
On the other hand, if the surface in front of us is physically higher than our line of sight, then it will appear higher than our eye level.
Is this guy for real again? I know where this is going.
Likewise, if the surface curves down and away from us at any distance, the horizon that we see would not reach our eye level. It would always be below our eye level, even if we were just 1 or 2 meters above that surface looking directly across it. The surface would never appear to rise up as far as our eye level.
Nothing rises up, man. Jesus.
And the moment we gained any extra height above the surface, it would drop immediately.
So he's trolling me.
Wouldn't have to get up to extreme heights to see any kind of perceived drop. And the same is true for anything above our line of sight. So that could be something on the surface, such as a ship.
Yeah, the ship would get probably slightly smaller if it was really far away, because of how it works. It's getting further away from me, so it's going to get smaller, but it's going to disappear from the bottom up as it goes over that horizon. the sun is not moving away from me. So the sun is going to stay the same size and disappear because we're orbiting around.
Or something in the sky, such as the sun or an aircraft, it will appear to sink towards the horizon, the center of our field of view, as it goes off into the distance, but it won't go any lower than that. The difference, though, is that the sky is transparent and we can see a lot further across the sky than we can across a solid surface that's obviously not transparent. So when the sun sets and appears to go below the horizon, it's just going to the center of our field of view as it goes away into the distance.
But that's not what happens. It goes below. It doesn't go to a point and then away. It goes below. There are videos, man. You saying this nonsense, it will not change physics. It will not change the way that you can look out at the sun and watch it just disappear in its entirety below the horizon. It does not get to half below the horizon and then get smaller. You can't record that. Phuket World, go out with your P900 or whatever go out and record this happening in nature. Set up your camera, leave it there, and let it record a sunset. You won't see that. It'll just disappear.
And because the solid surface is also there in the center of our field of view.
That's not what you see. You don't see that.
Then the sun is cut off. And when we are told to imagine or perceive ourselves on a globe, we are given this side-on view of the observer, taking away that first person's perspective and translating it into an imaginary curve beneath our feet. That's why perspective is the imaginary curve. Thank you very much.
Well, that was a big old load of bollocks, wasn't it? Come on, Phuket Word. Let's you can try better, but literally go out and film a sunset, and I want you to get what you showed in that little joke of an animation. Please. Please. I beg you.